Showed him actually very late, but again, Xavier stopped pumping for just enough time for Almirante to get back in the game. Who was spamming Marines, got grenade throw, a full investment there. And again, like I said, any mistakes that are given for these high tier players, the other one's definitely going to capitalize on that. Again, we saw the Gods clash. Almirante is going to continue on into the semifinals here. CarsandCameras actually moving down this bracket very, very fast, waiting on Diverse and Almirante to finish those matches up to be able to move on to semifinals here. Where again, the semifinals is going to be bumped up to a best of 5 series. The map rotation is going to be Rift, Frontier, Ashes, Mirage, and a possible Game 5 will go down on Vault. Almirante is definitely in the hot seat here. He's got the hot hands, hot seat. He definitely knocked Xavier down into the losers bracket. Taking Game 1 and 3 of that best of 3 series. Now jumping on board to best of 5. Excited to see CarsandCameras try to put up a fight here as he starts to...
It's Almirante's tournament to lose right now. And he lost the last one in the finals to Mike Beeston. He's coming back with a vengeance. Mike is not in this tournament. So Almirante will want to take the win. We need to play. The Cars bans Yap Yap. We're just going to wait on Almirante's ban.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, we are waiting on the bans because we are playing Europa-style rules. Those are going to go as follows. It's going to be a 45-minute game timer, 45-second DC rule, no repeat leaders in a series, which is now going to be a best of 5, and also each player gets a ban. We're now waiting on Almirante's ban. We're reaching out. Who did CarsandCameras opt in to ban?
He banned Yap Yap.
Banned Yap Yap. Again, pick your poison of those top 3 leaders that are definitely have a definitely strong advantage throughout the game. Those are going to be Anders, Desi, and Yap. So it looks like he knocked out Yap there as we wait for Almirante to choose his. I have a feeling he's going to choose Anders as CarsandCameras. This is very, very well versed with Anders here. Again, this is a best of 5 series. It's bumped up now. Big boy time. This is the semifinals. A lot of games to be played now. And these definitely, again, you're going to see a lot of high-tier gameplay. Any mistakes are definitely going to be capitalized on. You're not going to see a lot of downtime in between fights. All these players have definitely been productive in between, harassing minis, picking up nodes, opting in to expand. Again, not a lot of downtime, trying to cause different plays, burn some leader powers there, here and there. Almirante, it looks like he queued up his leader.
Queued up his leader, but hasn't said his ban. Okay, Anders is banned. And Yap Yap.
Right, definitely. Pick your poison again. So Decimus is allowed in this series, but again, CarsandCameras well versed in Anders, a great ban for Almirante, and it's likely the same for CarsandCameras who opted in to ban Yap Yap. We're going to jump on board to game number 1 of this best of 5 series in the semifinals. CarsandCameras versus Almirante. Cars opting in for Forge, going down on Rift as Almirante opted in for Pavium. Again, the rules are going to go as follows. 45-minute game timer, 45-second DC rule, no repeat leaders, and both get in a ban, and that's going to be no Anders and no Yap as we jump in board into the semifinals of this winner's bracket here. We haven't seen Rift played for Almirante, and he opted in for Pavium.
In for Pavium, so over in the red.
Spawning in the red corner, we have the legendary Almirante 99, playing as the terrifying Pavium.
And over in blue.
We're not producing any
Spawning
power.
in
We
the
need a
blue
generator.
corner, we have the amazing CarsandCameras, playing as the
pad
fabled
constructed.
Forge.
Playing as Forge, opening double supply pad Jackrabbit currently. No really point set, so we don't know where he's going. Looks like Almirante has opted for Generator second with Pavium. Normally you will see double supply and choppers coming out, but instead he's opting for double grunt.
Power extractor constructed.
Grunt is moving across to the right and rally point. Going to be swapping the other Grunt off to the power. Going to be picking up his mini there. And CarsandCameras coming in for a mini steal straight away with that Jackrabbit on that back mini. More Grunts coming out for Almirante. He can't afford the mini yet. Cars is going to get it. This is going to be 3 mini bases to 1. Since Almirante opted for Grunts, he cannot send a chopper as quickly over to there to steal one of Cars' mini bases. Cars doing a good job as well. He has a Marine taking Almirante's power. Also has a Jackrabbit about to take the other power. So he's not only going to be ahead on mini bases, he's going to be ahead on the power pickups in this game as well.
And you gotta commend CarsandCameras here. He definitely read this play very, very well. Knowing his leader is definitely going to be eco-based, he doesn't have to worry about power too early, so it leaves himself open to be able to steal a mini while getting eyes on his own minis at home. But knowing that Pavium is most likely to open up a double chopper, can't afford those minis early on. And Almirante is barely going to notice that this mini was taken now. He's going to have to double back and try.
Almirante already made a mistake. He hasn't used his burnout yet.
Yeah, definitely. Didn't open up any choppers yet either. And has now lost his mini. He's investing into the Grunts. We're not seeing a War Council going down.
Now we're seeing
alive. We are seeing the War
mines.
Council going on the back.
Yeah,
Shrapnel Mines and the War Council being set.
Interesting plays from Almirante playing Pavium here against the Forge. He already lost the mini, not opting in for a raid camp to take it down. He has guns with shrapnel rounds, and he's going straight for CarsandCameras' main base. Cars already committed to a double gen, has no production buildings as of yet, 12 population, and 0 turrets to defend this.
Right, and just instantly countered what the Cars did. Stole a mini, knows that he invested in a lot of blue in the beginning, not going to have any units on the field, and is soaring to his base to be able to challenge for these minis. It's almost like you're seeing like a Vortis playstyle coming out of Pavium, just not accented by the combat spoils, but definitely still some aggression coming out of CarsandCameras, who hasn't put up a turret yet. See what he opts in for. Barracks coming up on the backside of the mini there. Isn't pumping any units. Small population versus 30. Very late turret. And he's
got barracks
going to lose
coming
a
up on the
generator
back.
here.
He's definitely going to lose the gen. He's got the barracks coming up on the back. The only way he can counter this is with flamers. He can't build jackrabbits.
We're under attack from their infantry.
Yeah, but it's very late. He's going to lose a generator and possibly lose a second one. The turret's got to be upgraded immediately, but that's going to be very costly there. Almirante putting down a burnout at home. The leader is out. The upgrade is not queued yet. Still spamming Grunts in between. Knows there's a... Has now scouted the backside of his main and knows that there's a barracks there, so we're going to see some pressure there, but that leader is going to deny that. Great plays out of Almirante, challenging with the Grunts, defending with the leader, and he might take 2 generators here.
One flamer is coming in to help. He's got more mines up. He's probably going to get the gen and the supply pad again. More flamers coming out for Cars, but this gen's super weak. He won't be able to clear up the units in time. Almirante going to be so far ahead now.
Expensive loss. I mean, Almirante did the damage that he did. He could just soar home, and he's got that leader up to play defense.
Yeah,
even if CarsandCameras were to push all the way up.
Cars did put a barracks on the mini that he stole, but it was denied by the double gen kill. He can't afford to build flamers in 2 places at once, and like you said, he has the leader there to defend.
Right, even if it was fully pushed and he did unlock and have 6 or 7 flamers, that leader does have a healing ability to be able to heal pads on a base. You gotta love the plays coming out of Almirante, who didn't play this leader cliche, opening up with a bunch of choppers, hitting a double generator down, open up a very aggressive T1 that caught CarsandCameras off guard. We're seeing 4 flamers being unlocked there, and they're gonna try to soar away as he preserves those units, and is gonna lose this back mini.
I'd like to see Almirante split off the Grunts that just ran all the way from Cars' main to take some power nerds. He has like 8 Grunts there, but they're coming all the way back to help defend this mini for some reason. Not sure what he's trying to do.
Right, again, that's definitely what you want to see, but I think he feels so comfortable that he definitely took 2 generators, has his leader out, got that burnout out on the second one, and he's around the corner from being in T2. We're probably going to see expansion coming out of Almirante here pretty soon, but he's still investing in the Grunts as he approaches T2. Almirante's going to push a little forward here. It doesn't look like he split off any Grunts yet. He's got some suicide for a lot of defense for units that haven't been on the field. He only saw the flamers.
What leader powers did Almirante pick? I haven't seen a single burnout.
No, he used the second one. It was really late. You'll see Burnout 2 come up on the screen now. If it's going to be Burnout 3, that'll pop up as well. So he's probably opted in for a Rain of Fire or possibly the Mines here. We're seeing that Burnout 2 slap that home there. As he's already in T2, he's got a barracks up. He's going to immediately start pumping some Rangers out of that there. Suicides are to come back home on defense and challenge these 4 Flamers that ended up coming back to overextend and apply some pressure to buy him some time.
Now in Tech 2, more Council up. Flamers are harassing it, and Almirante has a huge army taking power nodes right now. If he scouts
But look at
the Expo, he can
look
easily
at CarsandCameras'
take
base. He got double generator back up and is in Tech 2 now. Was able to catch back up and is in Tech 2. Obviously, there's a population difference, but it's still leaving him to be able to challenge here as Pavium pushes up to this garrison.
And that's also because Almirante committed to a leader, and then jump pack groups and shrapnel mines on the grunts. Does deny Cars Expo, picks up an Expo of his own, which has been scouted, and looks like Pavium's going to be annoying and go jump in the garrison in front of the CarsandCameras base. Does have one Marine, which is red bar inside of it.
Yeah, did deny that garrison there. Both players in T2. Almirante now setting down an expansion like you said, but a double barracks pump at home. Double ranger push here. Try to challenge these early units, and a garage is going to be set for CarsandCameras. He tries to get his leader out to get a footing here. Anti-infantry
turret with another 3 turrets as well to deny the grunts pushing up to the base. Pavium is now in the garrison, and CarsandCameras actually managed to clean both of the mini bases on Almirante's side. This is a big army of grunts going around. They are pack brother grunts as well, by the way. Cars does have a lot of flamers, so let's see if he actually commits to dispersion nozzles as well. Going to be pushing up on the Expo in front of Rangers, so they're going to get killed pretty easily. War Council is back up.
That is 4th point for CarsandCameras, who's CarsandCameras loading a lot of blue here. Looks like he's trying to get in position to drop some Kodiaks, and I wonder if they're going to be defensive or offensive here as he tries to rally in some hogs and upgrade his leader there. He opted in for a side base there to his left. He needs the slots and knows he needs to catch up against an eco leader like Pavium.
Alright, so Cars is forced to take the Expo off to the left of his base. He's going to push Pavium out of the garrison. Hogs and Forge are going to take rams on him. He still has a shield. Cars picking up that Expo right in front of this army of grunts. He has 20 grunts here right now.
And that's 79 population versus 21. And you're seeing it all on the field right in front of his base, basically. A few Rangers home on defense. Again, CarsandCameras trying to harass who got a hold of these minis. But look at the backside of Pavium's base there. That mini is pumping more Warthogs as well as CarsandCameras did secure those minis that Almirante wasn't paying attention and lost.
Yeah, he's just trying to hurt Pavium's eco the best he can, holding on to those minis. He did put a garage down on one. I don't probably expect him not to build out of that. Well, he is anyway. Warhog's coming out.
Scatterbomb Wiability coming down in front of that expansion. They're going to delete a lot of grunts there, but Pavium's still going to challenge. He's setting a Wiability on the Forge.
That is a long Wiability there. That Forge is not Tech 2 yet. So Almirante actually just dropped from 20 grunts to 17 grunts.
Yeah, but that allowed room to make up to be able to start pumping these hunters because he needed the room. He was capped on population there at 80 population, majority of it being grunts with a couple of rangers on the backside. No longer needs any of the rangers, needs to get some hunters on the field, possibly some NGs as well. But we are creeping up on 5th point for Almirante as well as CarsandCamera. CarsandCameras on the back foot here, trying to catch up, playing catch up this entire time, is losing those double generators. Is in Tech 2, didn't lose any supply pads. Well, actually, he did lose one supply pad that was built. We're seeing a double rate of fire on his main as his Pavium is in the garrison. That was points 3 and 4 there. And look how much base damage that had.
Base damage and the grunts as well to follow up with the mines. Loses 2 heavy supply pads in addition to those 2 gens that was lost earlier. That's a big loss.
And look at the main. The main is hurting so much. It's already at below half health.
We're going to be getting a base trade situation coming down now.
Shield tower constructed.
Yeah, but that's a list for Almirante, who's also got a shield at home there. 2 shields up on his main and expansion.
The Kodiak on the front line as well. Heal on the base. Lich is coming down. Car's going to be base trained. The shield comes up on the expansion, as you just said, just in time. So Car's push has just been denied, while Almirante is about to take down Car's main base.
What a phenomenal play. Very, very unconventional. You can tell CarsandCameras was definitely caught off, and CarsandCameras is going to tap out in this Game 1 series of the best of 5 there.
Almirante up.
Very unconventional play. Cars and Cameras looks like he was in a great position by stealing that mini, but Almirante took advantage of the downtime. It's fully populated, invested in shrapnel runs, and pushing on up and taking 2 generators as Cars and Cameras did not have any population on the field.
So that's going to be game 1 going to Almirante in an unconventional Pavian play, but it paid off. It worked. He took the double gen and then snowballed his lead to take the game. Going to be going to Frontier.
You gotta love
Cars' favorite map.
And I wonder if he's going to opt in for his favorite leader as well. So we'll see how that goes down here in just a second. But I'm unable to start the game. Sorry, trying to restart. Go spectator.
It says connecting. Started the match.
No, it backed out and said it wasn't able to start the game. So I backed out a little. Something's going on.
Stop doing
that. Sorry. Again, guys, we're watching a best of 5 series. Game number 2 is going to go down on Frontier. We already did see Rift. Again, the leader bands are going to be no Yap and no Anders. Decimus is still up for pick. I wonder if any one of these players are going to utilize that leader here. Again, this is a best of 5 series. Game number 2 in favor of Almirante. It's going to be 1-0 currently. Do you have any updates on the ladder?
No, all the other games are still playing right now. Nothing to report.
Nothing to report. As we looks like B-Safe is still waiting on Xavier versus Rock Generation to continue his match. And it looks like Nintendo Hippie played Hero Absolution in a best of 1 series and is going to move on there into the semifinals.
Remember, guys, Yap and Anders is banned in this series. Almirante currently 1-0 up.
Guys,
for
if
him to pick his leader.
If you want to check out exactly what we're looking at, type in ! bracket down below. Again, this is the second qualifying cup that we are seeing here, thrown on by Europa Halo. We watched a fantastic series go down. Diverse versus Almirante is going to knock him into losers bracket. We're now watching semifinals where Almirante is up 1-0 versus Cars and Cameras. It looks like Stormy Style and EOD Spartan Set are still clashing on it.
And we do get Voridus come out. Oh my god. So, a while back, I think it was in the league, we saw this exact matchup, Almirante versus Cars and Cameras, Voridus versus Serena. And Almirante Serena absolutely dominated the game. Kaz might have learned his lesson from that, so we'll see how this goes down. Well, this is going to be an exciting
I almost
matchup
feel like this
offensively.
was a counter pick coming out of Almirante. Both these leaders allow for an AoE, both of kind of an area denial, if you will. And I wonder if this was a counter pick, because you don't normally see Serena run on Frontier, especially have a high tier player like Almirante, who took 2nd place in this last tournament that went down on September 1st.
All right, starting the game in the red.
Spawning in the red corner, we have the legendary Almirante 99, playing as the terrifying Serena.
And over in the blue.
Spawning in the blue corner, we have the amazing Cars and Cameras, playing as the fabled Voridus.
We are seeing Almirante opt in
Supply
for
pad
Serena,
constructed.
who's opened up a double supply pad, a single Marine, and is going to go ahead and try to secure his front yellow there, and also secure a very early mini base here. Didn't open up a 2nd unit to be able to secure that mini base there, and has already set a rally point off to the side to secure his extra yellow bundle off to his right
Supply
side there.
pad upgrade complete.
Yeah, Chopper coming straight down the middle. Almirante pretty much already picked up all of that power, but the Chopper is around him. Probably pick off that Marine as well. He's quite opposite. Few idle units from Almirante, not picking up
Mini
resources
base
right now.
complete.
Might slow down his build a little bit. Supply pad is coming down on that central mini base. Generator Fed coming up for Almirante, and a Generator 4
It's a Rax.
down for Kaz and
We
Cameras.
need power.
That's a Rax already coming up on that front side
Swapped.
mini there. I don't know. Yeah, and the Cars and Cameras really going to scout out there. But he's going to know that the early aggression is going to come up here pretty soon. And he's got to get some units on to be able to deal with those Hellbringers. Probably going to most likely opt in for some choppers as the Grunts don't do so well against it here. But it looks like Cars and Cameras going to put himself in a position to be able to steal a mini that's on the high ground here for Almirante.
Gonna be on the high ground. The brutes can just jump down, where Almirante has to walk all the way around to try and take out the mini. So that's a good mini steal from Cars and Cameras. But he's gonna
definitely
have to
a good mini steal. But we have to remember that he.
Offense.
Harvester constructed.
Right, but the easy offense would be the watchtowers because he is Serena, and that's going to allow for those watchtowers to provide a freeze aura that we did learn about against your game against Solid Conviction there. So that can be some great defense there as the generators on the backside that's going to be guarded by 2 watchtowers, and now another mini base stolen, 4 Cars and Cameras. Hellbringer's already out on the field as Almirante is kind of waiting for his second point here. Curious to see if he's going to push the main or if he's going to start challenging that mini in the center.
Yeah, he's going to push the main, and the turret is already up. He has to push the main and slow down that eco. Because Cars has these 2 offensive mini bases, if he puts raid camps on there, the only way for Almirante to stop that is by freezing Cars' eco, so he can't actually keep up the production of that boost.
Our base is under attack.
Yeah, and you gotta notice that the placement of the buildings there. Like I said, he put the generator on the backside that's going to be guarded by 2 watchtowers and possibly 1 counter unit there. We're seeing a push onto Cars and Cameras base here.
Grenadier drop is forced on defense. Get frozen there by these units. Slowing the raid camp.
And that aura is already slowing the raid camp at home. Look how much damage that Grenadier did. That single shot did knock down the shield from one of those frozen units. So definitely a viable option to try to counter what Almirante is doing here. So Almirante is going to back on up and try to pick the center mini. Hasn't taken a look at any of his minis, but he can only assume that those have been stolen. We are not seeing any racks on the backside of Almirante's base. The entire focus is going to be the center of the map here.
Yeah,
Almirante is going to start taking some notes here.
He has to do more in this game. He's about to lose 5 mini bases to 1. He didn't really do much damage to Cars' main. And Cars does have Brute Grenadiers coming out now. He's not up to that Brutes. As of yet, anyway.
Almirante is going to abuse this area of effect here with this ice here. He took that forward node for Cars and Cameras, so Cars and Cameras are going to have a struggle trying to rally out of his base if he comes across that bridge there, and is now applying more pressure onto that mini in the center there. We are seeing 3 minis.
We're being attacked by enemy infantry.
Probably most likely 4 minis to 1 here. The Cars and Cameras is going to start losing some of this map control as these Hellbringers and Marines start to add up in the center of the base.
Yeah, the middle mini just get taken
Turret
out. And
constructed.
Cars hasn't managed to utilize combat spoils at all, and the Bison now coming out as well. That Bison looks like it's going to kill the mini base at the back, so if it does, Cars will know that it's out already.
I feel like Almirante's in a great position to actually push this leader on up, but it looks like he's not going to take any chances and play it kind of safe.
Yeah,
and
he's
work
worried.
his way from the 50
He
on.
knows he's lost his minis. He hasn't scouted them to see what's on them. So Cars has kind of done a
Under
bluff.
fire from enemy air
These
units.
double supply pads on them, but Almirante has not scouted raid camps. He hasn't even bothered to scout them.
Look at the multitasking. We're already seeing a Marine and Hellbringer come back to get some scouts on these back minis as the rest of his army is taking these nodes. He took the first one on the
Mini
front
base
side of
complete.
Cars and Camera. He's going to have a hard time
Generator
coming across that
constructed.
bridge now and is now doubling back to take the rest of the nodes there. And that's going to be 3 nodes to none. And Cars and Camera has not been able to utilize combat spoils whatsoever. But he is in. He is 10 seconds out from being in Tech
Leader point
2.
earned.
A rally point set to the backside of Cars and Camera here from Almirante. Got a second generator down. He's going to
complete.
finish upgrading that and is going to try to get into T2. But again, we're seeing 3 nodes to none.
Our base is
As
under
Almirante
attack.
doubles backs and tries to get some map control here.
Yeah, 3 Serena nodes as well, so that freeze and slow is going to be super annoying for Cars to walk through, right in the center of the map. And he has to go through it if he wants to take any engagements or route off to Almirante's main base. Almirante now scouted
And
both
we're
those
seeing
mini
the-
bases, should know that there's no raid camps, can probably safely move his Bison up, but she's still on defense, sat, locked down.
We're seeing 5 Grenadiers push up here,
Our
and that was
base
going to be
is
the
under
counter to
attack.
these Icebringers to the center of the map here. And they're going to push up and utilize some combat spoils and also be a great counter to the Icebringers. But Almirante has everything back on defense here to be able to pick up his side of the map while taking all 3 of those nodes. So Cars and Cameras has almost got that center node, but the unit is fully frozen. It's going to drop that counter back down to nearly 0 here.
Bison pushing up to the middle. Almirante cleared out one mini base, but he has left his
Our base is
paratroopers
under
there
attack.
idle for the time being. Kaz is going to be getting some resources off of this mini base while he hits it with the Grenadiers. The armor is actually coming down on that middle
Command
mini.
center
Almirante
upgrade
just
complete.
hitting Tech 2, so he'll want to get the Bison upgrade as soon as possible. The Bison is in the
Armory
middle of the map.
constructed.
Looks like that node was decapped by CarsandCameras, but Almirante is going to be pushing back up to retake it. Kaz has picked up an expert, is fully built, has not been scouted as of yet.
Under assault from enemy ground
But
forces.
he's opting in for a double garage, which is pumping Marauders, and he's going to
Our
try to
base
fight
is
in the
under
center of the
attack.
map here that is fully frozen because all 3 nodes are taken. And now the Bison is here to push up as well to provide that much more aura. Does have some counter units online, but they're definitely going to struggle inside of this ice. Curious to see what Almirante is going to opt in for. It looks like he put a garage down with the 3rd generator with
Sure,
no
dropped
expansion.
Good stun on the
But it-
army there.
Yeah, like I said, this is all an entire iced area, and is opting in for a double garage. He's going to have a hard time challenging here, as that leader is in the center of the map. Again, not utilizing combat spoils because he's completely being denied. Icebringer's finally moving up with the leader here. They're going to push CarsandCameras back on
Generator
out. We
constructed.
saw that 4th point spent on the turret there.
Supply
Did a
pad
great job
constructed.
holding. CarsandCameras did lose 2 Marauders there and 3 Rangers, and is still being contested here in the front half of his side of the field.
Yeah, Almirante doing a good job at picking off these units. The Marauders are going to chase down that Bison. She's left alone by herself. Meanwhile, Almirante has put down a fair generator, and he is building Kodiaks as well.
Our
Forced
base
to
is
put
under
the heel
attack.
down. Grenadier drop comes down for CarsandCameras.
Leader power
Now the Cryo
ready.
troopers are coming to support.
Air pad
Ice barrier is
constructed.
back up. That's going to clear the way for this Bison to escape.
The enemy sent vehicles after us.
An invigorating frenzy to try to save those and preserve those Marauders that are definitely going to be the muscle for CarsandCameras. But again, this ice is going to be a huge problem from him as we see creep into the 4th point there for CarsandCameras. Is really late on that 4th point. Almirante nearly halfway to his 5th. Just see how much of a difference it was to take those minis. Also to clear out the minis on the back side there. 3rd generator set down for Almirante, and he's now pumping Kodiaks to be able to help solidify his side of the map. 1 is already set down on that 1st node that's already engaging with these Marauders as they're trying to pick this mini.
Pointed their artillery
Again,
at
no
us.
expansion coming out of Almirante, and this leader is going to push back on up and give some more sight lines for this Kodiak while this beefy leader does try to contest.
Despite the really good start to the game for Almirante, he's kind of fallen off a bit now. He has less
Upgrade
population.
complete.
Kaz has a fully upgraded expert with his leader now on the way out. Almirante only just picking up his expert. And Kaz looks to be in the lead at the moment. Almirante only has the power nodes, 1 Kodiak, a Bison, and a couple of Marines hanging around.
Yeah, so we're definitely going to see some. We're seeing an Apex being set for CarsandCameras. Probably going to get some Shrouds on to try to help muscle through this. Going to get his leader out to get that invigorating frenzy, which might help to sort through some of this ice, as it is causing an area of
Mini
effect and
base
slowing
complete.
all of the units. I think it's pretty much almost 50% slow
base is under
as
attack.
soon as you do touch that. And Almirante just playing pure defense here. But Almirante is nearly on 5th point,
Leader
so I think CarsandCameras is going to have a hard time challenging that big drop if he does opt in for it.
Expo now built for Almirante, still controls the center of the map. Kaz just sitting back at the moment, doesn't have
Marauder,
the population
under
lead.
fire from
It's
air
like he's
units.
waiting for his leader. He has Shrouds coming out to counter the Kodiaks, and a nice amount of counter units coming out also. Good turret drop there from Almirante, stunning all of those Marauders. They are caught in the middle, nothing to follow up except the Kodiaks. Bison just driving away very slowly.
And you look how much
Augmented
damage that
extractor
leader is doing,
upgrade
accented by the Kodiak drops again. Any ice touched on these units is going to cause them to slow by 50%, and the focus is this leader.
There's the Invig, the
One
Bison
unit-
does go down.
Supply
Almirante's
pad
got a couple of
upgrade
got a Hornets online here, and again, he's got these Kodiaks spread out to cause a lot of damage
Our
here, but
base is under attack.
the Vortis leader's coming up, and it
Combat
isn't
station
upgraded
upgrade
at all.
I'm under fire from enemy
Smoke going down on the Kodiak and the heal on the Kodiak. But there is an
A
engineer
lot
there
of
to detect
T2
it.
units here.
Almirante down to 20 population. His expo is built. He needs
Supply
that
pad
Bison back. The
constructed.
Bison was doing such a good job, and basically the only unit that was worthwhile for him.
The
The rest of
only
his army is just
unit.
getting picked off.
Right. Right, and now he's losing map control just that fast, and CarsandCameras is creeping up on his 5th point, catching up here.
Yep.
But again, this ice nodes are having a hard time for him to rally in. 68 population versus 14,
Supply
and I'm
pad
very curious to see
constructed.
what Almirante is going to opt in here for, as he has pure eco and only
Wolverine
2
here.
production
What you
buildings.
got
We're going to
for
see
me?
an air pad that's being queued.
I'm
The only
being
one up at the moment
assaulted
is
by
the
the
garage.
enemy.
Oh, there's another air pad on the backside mini as well.
Bison comes back out on the central mini base, sneaks behind CarsandCameras front line, and it's got his
Our
tech free
base is
upgrade
under
10
attack.
seconds out, going straight for CarsandCameras main base. Gonna completely freeze his eco, and CarsandCameras is gonna be forced back to actually have to
Upgrade.
deal with that.
I don't know if... Yeah, it's definitely going to cause an eco, and he has to deal with it because, again, his eco is going to be completely frozen. The only way to counter that is by pushing up with some combat spoils. So I'm curious to see how he's going to approach this. Finally taking uncapping his first node there, so no more aura is going to be set there. He's trying to take the second one, but now notice the leader at home, and that's causing a mass. Look at his eco.
Well, there comes the big drop, gonna deny the shield generator on the main base. The Bison's shield is down. Almirante won't have heal back up yet, and CarsandCameras still hasn't decided whether he's gonna go back or not. He's sat in the middle of the map. Does he even realize this is going on right now?
He's definitely going to push on here. Cataclysm's probably up for him. And like I said, the combat spoils is the only way that he's going to counter this. But at the same time, he's got an eco on the side to still pump some blue here. He's feeling very aggressive here, and he's pushing on up. That leader was just upgraded to Volatile Fury. Probably going to see a slam, a Cataclysm, and a push on for an eco trade here.
CarsandCameras already lost one gen, about to lose his second one. There is a shield coming up on his expo.
Leader power
Invig
ready.
pushing up to the main base. He needs to get the leader around the base with the Y ability as fast as possible before he gets frozen. Otherwise, that Cataclysm is going to be pretty pointless.
Wow, and ice block's coming down to counter it,
Turret
along with the turret to
upgraded.
do some damage to cause even more of an aura.
Turret constructed.
And Almirante still sitting on a couple of units at home. CarsandCameras trying to micro for his life here. Drop a drop at home to be able to get that engineer to try to heal up some units. But again, the eco is just being frozen right now. But we are seeing 80 population
His leader's
versus
about to be
42.
frozen as well on offense.
This is so back and forth here.
Yeah,
I
the
mean,
leader
Almirante
gets
has
frozen.
nothing compared to CarsandCameras that has everything.
Come closer. We got something for you.
Almirante doing a great job at defending and attacking here. He's only lost 2 turrets so far. Now the turrets are down, there'll be no freeze aura, and cars will be able to hit this main base. Doesn't look like he's going to be using a Cataclysm on it though to get some extra eco.
We're not seeing any shield come. Well, the shield generator was just queued, a very late queue on that expansion, knowing that your main base has been almost fully stripped and has been pressed. But again, he's countering it with this counter push here. We're seeing an ultimate being set at home for Almirante.
A glacial
tries to
storm
slow
comes
this
down
push.
on CarsandCameras army, and it's all frozen. Cars does not even try to move out of it.
CarsandCameras opting in to main the base
Needs to
instead of
shatter it now.
stripping it.
Our base is under attack.
Almirante not using his shatter ability. He has a pretty poor eco right now. He has no blue. Only 51 population compared to CarsandCameras.
upgrade complete.
76 population, 2k
Taking
blue,
enemy fire.
1500 power, but his main base has been fully stripped.
Right, but Almirante did
Shield
upgrade his
tower
expansion because he feels like this is a base trade situation,
power
and he's already upgraded it and getting some more production buildings there, which he's opting in for Hornets. There's only two Reavers on the field for
Upgrade
cars and
complete.
cameras here.
This base trade is taking so
Definitely
Tell me
long.
where you want me.
Yeah, it's definitely
Been
taking a
going
long
on for a
time.
good 3 minutes. Bison's going to be moving to the Expo to further deny CarsandCameras eco. He has a lot of
And one
resources
grenadier drop
stockpiled.
is going to be dropped at home, along with the
Cataclysm comes
Cataclysm
down.
to melt the last unit.
Smoke going down on Voridus now. He's frozen again. This main base of Almirante's might not fall. He has 2 Nightingales defending it. Is there any Reavers here? Because he has
Our
Hornets
base is
nearby,
under
but he's
attack.
not engaging. I do not see any Reavers at the moment.
He's lost his production building. He's opted in for Banshees, but that's being frozen and slowed on production as well on his expansion there.
Supply
And Cars and
upgrade
Cameras was looking in a great spot, and this is just an awkward trade that's probably going to end up being in favor of Almirante, who's stacking a lot of air here, not to be countered by anything.
Shield now comes up on CarsandCameras
Leader
main,
power
but that base is fully stripped. Compared to Almirante's, which Kaz has been trying to main,
Our
so he didn't
base is
take
under
any
attack.
pads on Almirante's main base. He did get it to half health, but it has
allies are
been
in
re-healed
trouble.
and smoked now.
Yeah, I didn't agree with the manning of the base just because it was so beefy and those watchtowers were slowing the attack speed of all of those units. I really wish he would have utilized it and tried to get around the base after clearing those front watchtowers and tried to eat some pads while beefing up
Augmented
his
harvester
eco.
upgrade complete.
So he sat in front of that base for a long time and did absolutely nothing but clear out 2 watchtowers and possibly take a couple of hornets.
Alright, so the Bison does fall at
Upgrade
Cars and
complete.
Cameras Expo, but it
Our
is being
base is under
rebuilt.
attack.
30 seconds out.
It's a
And that
very
base
awkward
trade was
trade for
super
both
awkward.
those players.
Yeah,
Yeah, super
exactly.
awkward, and it failed for both players. One opponent freezing the other's eco, while the other stripped his eco. So we're now seeing 72 population versus Almirante 70 out of 100, and that's fully being invested into air. We are seeing
Air pad
6 Nightingales
constructed.
online and 3 air pads being set. But Almirante, again,
Mini
didn't
base
lose any
complete.
eco. That would have been crucial if he would have had his base stripped. But again, he's in a healthy state because he didn't lose anything aside from units. 80
Air
population
level 2
versus 82.
researched.
Almirante still pumping air.
Our
My game
base
just
is
froze.
under attack.
Like fully.
No, I'm back. Just
Right,
catching up.
Almirante has a nice air army down the right hand side. 6 Nightingales and a lot of Hornets as well. Meanwhile, Cars is just retaking the middle minis and power nerds, so it's managed to take them. The Bison sneaking down the
Leader
left hand
power
side,
ready.
straight back to Cars and Cameras
Fire
Expo.
base constructed.
Cars and Cameras main base still hasn't been fully rebuilt. He's missing a pad on there. Has a decent
Our
eco,
base
but
is
he is
under
full
attack.
80 pop out of 80 population at this time.
I'm under fire.
Well,
from
he
the
is
enemy.
sitting on 2 generators. I mean, he's just missing one more slot, which ends up being opted in for a 3rd generator there. So his eco wasn't too bad of a state. It's just the issue is this is a nice counterball army, but at the same time, we're seeing a full air commit from Almirante, and he doesn't have enough Reavers on the field. He's got some Banshees in the sky, but he definitely needs a little bit more of a Reaver count to be able to deal with this. But he is sitting at a max 80 population,
Mini base complete. Our base
while his
is
ego's
under
being
attack.
frozen here.
All the Hornets are pushing up to Cars and Cameras
I'm
main
taking enemy
base. That
fire.
shield dropping really fast. He's going to try and shield juggle, but the second shield's 15 seconds out. It won't be able to come up in time. Meanwhile, his Expo is frozen. Hunter's pushing up
I'm
to try and
taking
take the
fire.
Leader
Bison
point
down.
earned.
Invid coming down on the
Combat
main
station
base.
upgrade complete.
And Cars and Cameras forced to come back to try and defend.
Augmented extractor upgrade.
83
complete.
population versus 80 here. A lot of healers in the sky for Almirante. Still
Our
has that.
base is under
Oh,
attack.
and
Oh,
we're
the
seeing
cryo
freeze
drop
come
coming
down to
down
the exit
with
by
the
the
splash!
shot, and he's just dropped
Our
down to
allies are
61
in danger.
population. He's getting cleaned up by the rest of this air.
Over.
That's only level 1 as
Fantastic
well.
play coming out of Almirante.
Wait until that gets level
Shield
2.
generator,
Cars and
20
Cameras are
seconds
going
out.
to give up.
Cars and Cameras going to tap on out. Very awkward trade there. Both players trying to feel each other out for the obvious cheese that Almirante was going for. Cars and Cameras doing a great job trying to catch back on up, but wasn't able to. And is going to end up dropping game number 2 of this best of 5 series. Cars and Cameras now on the plank. We're going to take this game number 3. As this is going to go down on Ashes here.
Alright, so
Again,
we'll see it.
the
2-0
leader
up
bands
Almirante.
are going to be no Yap Yap and no Anders. That's what we're going to see, and I'm curious to see this next pick as we jump on board to game number 3 here. Again, Cars and Cameras has to win this next game to stay in the series. We are in the semifinals. You can jump him, catch him back up, and try to jump into the grand finals here of winner's bracket. But Almirante looking very tough here as he took both game 1 and 2 there.
So just an update. EOD Spartan Seb has beat Stormy Style 3-1 in the semi-finals. The other semi-finals. So EOD will be playing the winner of this in the winners bracket finals. And loser will be.
You gotta
dropping down to
commend
play
Stormy
BSEF.
Style. He's had some great matches today. I mean, he had to play Rock Generation in a best of 3 and beat him there. Had to play Nintendo Hippie in another best of 3 and beat him. And then now had to move on to EOD Spartan Zeb and play him in a best of 5, which he's going to take 1 game and lose 3. But I mean, that is that's an exhausting bracket for him to push there. So you got to commend him for making semifinals and is now going down into the losers bracket there. He's going to play into
EOD
playing.
having a good tournament
Be safe.
himself, knocking out Hero Absolution and then Stormy Styles back to back. Now finds himself sat in the winners bracket, just patiently waiting for the winner of this series. Almirante currently 2-0 up, picking Arbiter.
Spawning in the red corner, we have the legendary
talk for the full minute.
Almirante 99, playing as the terrifying Arbiter.
And over in the blue.
Required.
Spawning in the blue corner, we have the amazing Cars and Cameras, playing as the fabled colony.
Harvester constructed.
Alright, so Cars is opening Chopper first, double harvester. Almirante has 3 grunts running down the middle, gonna instantly pick off one of CarsandCameras' grunts, which was going for the double power here. Opening another 2 grunts on top of that, with a supply pad first, generator second. Good pick off there from Almirante. So that's what you like to see, some early aggression to set your opponent back early. Now he can split off, start picking up his resources. And we saw Arbiter played by Saviour on this map earlier against Almirante, and he won that game. It was a close game between Forge and Arby. So let's see what CarsandCameras can do with Colony in this matchup on Ashes.
Harvester constructed.
2 grunts are going to challenge this Chopper for the power. 1 grunt almost weak. The Chopper's going to be forced to back off. 3rd grunt comes in for support.
Yeah, you gotta love that play in the beginning there. Just challenge for the power. You know, Colony's probably gonna opt in for that leader. He's gonna be definitely very, very power hungry there. And Almirante contesting for all of that while setting down a Brax 3rd. Rack's 4th and 5th here. Hasn't secured any minis, but like you said, it looks like he did take a page out of Diverse's book here and did opt in for RB on Ashes. Probably expecting the Forge pick coming out of CarsandCameras, trying to get a counter pick, but CarsandCameras switched it up and opted in for Colony.
CarsandCameras already
That's going to be a Gen 3rd build.
Already stolen 2 mini bases. Almirante has scouted that, and Almirante actually has double raid camp on his mini.
Raid camp constructed.
Right, and you gotta love the cheesy play because this map has so many minis and everybody's so worried about getting them stolen. Almirante is gonna opt in for the cheese here.
He says,
and we're gonna see CarsandCameras is gonna he's gonna get a late scout on this too. This grunt on the backside here is gonna notice that mini was taken by Almirante. Gonna come in and notice the double racks there. But he has a Rax home on 5th already. It is pumping Goliath, but he's gonna be forced to play Sui's here as everything starts to rally towards his main.
More Goliaths coming out for CarsandCameras. He picks up his 3rd mini base, but look at this army of red units pushing down the middle. He has 38 population right now to CarsandCameras 15, who's about to lose a Goliath at the main base. Can CarsandCameras actually hold this? Almirante just got his 2nd leader point. That's going to be Conduit of Rage to be accented with the mines. CarsandCameras looks like he's swinging over to pick up more mini bases.
We're in combat with their vehicle.
Is he not?
Yeah, he's got to rally home. Doesn't have a forward aggressive Rax, but he's going to have to play some defense here. Thankfully, he has a Rax at home to be able to get these suicides out on defense here. The Chopper's going to be picked in the middle field as Almirante finishes rallying up. And it looks like he's still pumping the cheese, but these units are going to go clean up the minis as this small little force kind of fans off here. Still has a rally point set to his main, but it looks like he's checking for the minis. He knows that his minis were stolen at home.
Yeah,
so he's going to try to go check and see if CarsandCameras finish picking up.
Almirante could have done some early damage there. There was only 1 Goliath on defense, but for some reason he instantly backed off. Now Cars has managed to build a turret suicide gun, but he's also committed to an Apex as well, so he's kind of psyched out his opponent. Picks up 2 mini bases, so the mini base trade is going to be pretty even at the moment, despite being split down the middle.
We are seeing 54 population versus 23, but again, as this starts to snowball in leader points, it does get in the favor of Almirante, who's now transitioned to trying to make map control instead of trying to fully commit for the cheese. Still sitting at 62 population. That is increasing with a double Rax, but now he's contesting all of the minis on the map, aside from the one on the backside of CarsandCameras. CarsandCameras is fully on defense here, has sacked one of his supply pads there for a 2nd generator. Notice that Almirante did clean up his side minis there, and has stolen his minis as well.
Yeah, Almirante has CarsandCameras running scared right now. He's sat at his main base, waiting patiently for an attack that might never come, while it's allowing Almirante to just take the full map. He's already taken 1 mini bat. He's definitely going to get the 2nd one and taking power nodes as well. So that's going to be 5 mini bases to 1, while CarsandCameras are going to be pinned in on his main base with a double gen, just sat there, suicide group.
He's almost looking like Kaboom with all these counter units. He's got suicide grunts, NGs on the field, and a double generator with only 2 supply pads. And again, the longer that this snowballs for Almirante, those base damage units are definitely going to increase as we get Conduit of Rage 2.
Goliath gets picked off down the left. Cars and cameras.
Our base is under
Preparing
attack.
to take his first power node. Almirante already has
Leader
one.
point earned.
Doing well, defending his minis, splitting his army off as well. He just killed another Goliath for Cars and cameras, so the Goliath player really isn't pulling off for him.
Harvester
Yeah, again,
constructed.
he's on the back foot here. He's just trying to do what he can, play defense, and at the same time maybe cause a small play to be able to buy him some time. But you gotta recognize that Almirante opened it for a cheese play, which a lot of teams players do, and he took advantage of his units, and instead of going for the main
Turret
and
constructed.
throwing everything, when you see something fully committed to defense, he actually utilized his time frame to be able to take all of the minis on the map. Even though he didn't secure any whatsoever in the beginning of the match, he definitely utilized those units to be able to take full map control here and force his opponent on full defense.
Our base.
Yeah, now he's going to be moving into a second gen. Picked up his Expo quite early as well. That's 30 seconds out. Cars and Cameras is upgrading to Tech 2. Almirante, he's still 200 power out from Tech 2, but he has the
Power
map, he has
extractor
control of the
constructed.
game, and he's going to control the pace of the game from here on out.
Look at the cheese coming out of Cars and Camera on the backside here. He's going to rebuttal with his own cheese here. He's going to opt in for his third point, which is probably going to be base damage there as we creep onto that.
Suicide guns coming in, but good split from Almirante there.
And he is focusing that NG as these suicides are going to be wasted here. He's still holding on to a large population. Look at the ramp outside of his expo. Look how many enforcers are there. That is a ton of enforcers. We're now seeing the cheese coming in from Cars and Camera on the bottom right-hand side of
There's no
Almirante's
defense here as
base.
well. The turret is coming up 5 seconds out. Cars is going to be focusing the turret. Turret's going to die pretty quickly as it's
Turret
building.
constructed.
Almost dead from just 2 hits. Looks like Almirante is making a counter push instead. Cars and Cameras is in Tech 2. Goliath's going to be doing a lot of damage. Almirante,
Council constructed.
he isn't opting to defend this. He hasn't sent any units back. He's got one enforcer there. Probably going to throw a stasis grenade just to delay that gen. But that gen is
I think
definitely dead.
he's going to commit to the full base rate because these stasis mines that are going down are going to melt.
Harvester
Somebody's going to
constructed.
attack the raid cap there.
Oh, the
Suicide
sewage coming out. It's too slow. It gets picked off before it makes any
He's gonna
connection.
melt that. Now focusing the turret.
Red camp's down. War Council is building. Colony Hunter Captain halfway out. Mine's coming down.
And there's
Hunter
the
Captain's
stasis
gonna
mine
get
to
shut
find the
down.
buffs. Look how fast this council is going to be knocked. 14 seconds for the Hunter Captain. It's not going to make it out. And there goes all of Cars and Camera's defense as we go for the full base
Our
trade
base is
situation.
under attack.
Both
Look
base
at back at
trades
home at
are
Almirante.
constructed.
The issue is, Almirante has 5 mini bases and an Expo to fall back on. The Expo's now upgraded as
And
well, with pads
72
building on it.
population.
The Cars
Cars
is
and
not going
Cameras
to come
on
out
the
of this
flank
base trade
here.
very well.
Almirante, even if he did lose his main, already has an expansion on up, and we'll be able to sack
Mini
this
base
main here.
complete.
Engie comes on out, it's going to be completely focused there.
Our
Casting another,
extractor constructed.
an Arbiter drop, another Arbiter's 4th point being spent there, and these T1 units along with the buff.
And the Hunter's brand
Hunter's brand
right
coming
in
down
the
to
middle!
rebuttal.
Our allies are in danger.
It's every unit, but they're all still green. And the healing from the Conduit of Rage as well. Turret drops, supply pad drops, Engie's
Turret
constantly getting
complete.
picked off.
Almirante's already lost his main, and this little hit squad's going to try to pick this Expo here. Almirante's got to hurry up and catch up here. He has fully stripped his opponent, who's spending a lot of his eco on defending, and Cars and Cameras is completely
Harvester
broke.
constructed.
That was his last leader power, no money.
base.
One expansion off to the side, but he won't be able to afford a supply pad or any units. 19 population versus 80.
Base is dropping, going for another base trade. Grunts defending for Almirante. I heard one enforcer coming back. The turret does fall. Almirante now rallying a defense. One Goliath's almost dead. This is going to be crushed by Almirante. Meanwhile, he is going to take down CarsandCameras main base right now.
Leader power ready.
One Goliath
This is a
falls.
very-
Leader point earned.
This is a very fast game that spiraled out of hand for
Turret
Cars and Cameras,
constructed.
who was trying to open up very classic and was approached by some cheese, and a great recovery from Almirante. Instead of losing all of his units, utilized to take some map control to solidify this game number 3.
Another Goliath drop does come down on Almirante's
Harvester
Expo, but there's enough
constructed.
units now to defend this. Conduit of Rage Man's coming down again. Goliaths don't manage to get a hit on the base, and Cars and Cameras does resign. Almirante taking this series 3-0, advances to play EOD in the winners bracket finals.
And Almirante in the hot seat with the hot hands here. He knocked down Savior, made light work of Cars and Cameras and is now going to square off with EOD Spartan Seb in the winners bracket finals. That is also going to be a best of 5 series, and that map order is going to be Bedrock, Frontier, Vault, Mirage, and then for Game 5, Rift.
Alright, we'll stick with Almirante. We'll get Spartan Seb in here.